Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I'm your instructor Maria Farooq and I'm here today with a new lecture, and today we will study a very beautiful poem, The Soldier by Rupert Brooke. You might have gotten the idea from the very title of the poem that it's about patriotism, sacrifices, or one's specifically soldiers' love for his country, for his motherland. So let's get started. So, as always, just like I give you a brief introduction of the poet first, so in the same way I have written few important points regarding the introduction of the poet Rupert Brooke. The timeline is given 1887 to 1915. He was educated at Rugby School, where his father was a housemaster, and King's College, Cambridge. So, initially, he was educated at Rugby School, and his father was a housemaster over there. And then later on, he was educated at King's College, Cambridge. Number 2. His first book of poems was published in 1911. Number 3. The Soldier, this poem, written in the first months of the war, was the last of a group of 5 sonnets, all of high quality. Kindly make a correction, it would be first month, not months. Okay, kindly remove S. Okay. The Soldier, written in the first month of the war, was the last of a group of 5 sonnets, all of high quality. So you should remember this point, that he has written this group of sonnets, and out of that group, this sonnet, The Soldier, this poem, which is a sonnet, it is the last of those sonnets, and all these sonnets are of high quality, well written. Okay? I'm telling you again that he has written this group of sonnets, okay, and this sonnet, The Soldier, it is the last of that group, last in that group, last of all those 5 sonnets. And you should remember this as well, that all these sonnets are of high quality, they are written very well. Okay, now first month of the war, basically it was a time of First World War. It started in 1914, September 1914. So you should remember this. Next, he was widely regarded as the most promising poet of his generation. Most promising poet, encouraging, favorable. Okay, so he was considered as the most encouraging poet of his generation. Okay, let's proceed. Now this poem, which is a sonnet, The Soldier is a sonnet. Now what is the central idea or theme of this poem? This poem explores the bond between a patriotic British soldier and his homeland. Homeland? England. People are formed by their home environment and culture, and that their country is something worth defending with their life. So, a man is very passionate and very concerned about his homeland, his country. You see? So just like that, soldiers are also very concerned and passionate. They love their country. So to defend your country, it is one of the most important things in life, that how you defend your country. Because you have your own culture, you have your own rituals, customs. So that's why people, they always like to live in their own country. Okay? Why? Because our culture, our religion, our customs, our rituals, they form us. They are a kind of, you can say, foundation, building blocks of our personality. So that's why one should always defend one's country, and one should always love one's homeland or country. All right? Okay. Now some additional information about this poem. You should remember this because as far as section A of your paper is concerned, it is based on MCQs. And MCQs, they can come from anywhere. You can be asked that it was a time of which world war, or you can be asked that when did this poem um, was written. Okay, so this poem was written in the first month of the war. And which war? First World War. Why? Because it started, or you can say it, the First World War, it broke out in September 1914. You should remember this. So from 1914 to 1918, there were these 4 years. So what you should remember is that he has written this poem in the first month of the war. And which war? First World War, which broke out in 1914. When Rupert Brooke was commissioned in the Royal Naval Division after the war broke out in September 1914. So you have to keep two important points in your mind. Number one, this poem was written in the first month of the war. Number two, which war was it? First World War, which broke out in September 1914. Okay? Now, kindly open your books in front of you so that you may understand in a better way. It's page number 34, The Soldier by Rupert Brooke. It is a sonnet. All right. Now, as far as the first 8 lines are concerned, octave, they deal with, or you can say they are about body. You should mention it in your books, okay? And the last 6 lines, they deal with soul. ठीक है, they are about soul. So first 8 lines, they are about body, and last 6 lines, they are about soul. Okay. Now I'm going to read out these lines for you, and then I will explain them. If I should die, think only this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. There shall be in that rich earth a richer dust concealed. Concealed means hidden. A dust whom England bore, gave birth. Shaped, made aware, gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam. Her, basically, it stands for England, motherland. Okay? A body of England's breathing English air, washed by the rivers, blessed by sons of home, blessed by, BLESSED, blessed by sons of home. So, if I should die, think only this of me. So, the poet says that when he dies in the war, so there should be one thing which should be thought about him, that there is some corner of a foreign land, that somewhere far away in the corner of the earth, he is buried over there. Foreign field, okay? Away from England. That is forever England. But what will happen? Even that part of the earth, it will be enriched by his body. Fine. So if he gets killed in the war, so what will happen? He will be buried in a far away land, far, far away from England. Why? Because he is a fighter. He is a warrior. So what will happen? Even that part of the earth, which is not England, that part of the earth will be enriched or blessed by his body. Why? Because his body was born in England. Okay? So somehow his body took England along with it. That is forever England. There shall be in that rich earth a richer dust concealed. Concealed, hidden. In that part of the earth, it will become richer. Why? Because there will be a body buried in that part which is made from the dust of England. His body is made from the soil of England. So his body will bless that part of the earth. Why? Because his body was born in England. Okay. A dust whom England bore. A dust here means dust, soil, body. Okay. A dust whom England bore, gave birth. So his body, it was given birth by England because England is his motherland. Shaped, made aware. So England gave birth to his body. England shaped his body. England made his body aware of different things. Gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam. So he loved those flowers of England and he was walking on those empty roads of England. Okay, so England gave its flowers to the poet. England gave its ways, paths, and roads to the poet. A body of England's breathing English air. So his body was breathing England's air because it took birth over there. Washed by the rivers, blessed by sons of home. So you can say. So to roam means roaming around, to walk aimlessly without any aim. Okay. So a body of England's breathing English air, washed by the rivers, blessed by sons of home. So his body belongs to England. Why? Because his body has breathed English air. His body was washed by the rivers of England, and his body was blessed by the sons of his homeland, which is England. Okay, so these 8 lines, they were all about body. Okay, next. And think this heart all shed evil away. This heart, poet's heart, all shed, discarded, removed evil away. So the poet's heart removed all the evil thoughts, bad thoughts. A pulse in the eternal mind, no less, gives somewhere back the thoughts by England given. And a pulse in the eternal mind, it basically means mind of God. Okay, so pulse means you can say regular beat. So this expression is used to express the thought that after death, the poet's heart will be immortal. ठीक है? So that's why a pulse in the eternal mind. So, and think this heart all shed evil away, a pulse in the eternal mind, no less, gives somewhere back the thoughts by England given. So after his death, his body will not be there, his body will perish away, but his soul will be there. Just like eternal soul of God, eternal mind of God. God is immortal. So just like that, his soul is also immortal. It's eternal. His thoughts are also immortal. Eternal mind, eternal thoughts, immortal mind, immortal thoughts, which cannot be destroyed, you can say. So he says, after his death, his heart will remove all the evil thoughts and his heart will return all those thoughts of England to God, who has given those thoughts to the poet. Okay? He will return his consciousness, his thoughts, to the immortal consciousness, to the immortal thoughts and mind. And who has immortal mind? Mind of God. So, by this, he says, he will return his pure heart, his feelings, his thoughts to the mind of God. Why? Because when he will give his feelings and thoughts and pure heart to the mind of God, they will be saved over there forever, because God is immortal. So when each and everything will be perished away, will be finished, but mind of God or this existence of God will be there always, because it's immortal. So by returning his feelings and thoughts about England to God, it means that they want these thoughts to be immortal. So he will return, or he will give his pure heart, his feelings and thoughts about England to God, who is immortal. Her sights and sounds, dreams happy as her day. Her sights and sounds, her, again, I have already told you that it stands for England, his motherland, England. So the sights and sounds of England, happy dreams and happy days of England, and laughter learnt of friends, and gentleness in hearts at peace under an English heaven. So he says, what will he return to the mind of God? His thoughts and feelings. Thoughts of what? Thoughts of England. Those sights and happy sounds of England. Those dreamy and happy days of England. Those laughters with his fellows. That gentleness which were there in hearts. Okay, so that gentleness which was there in hearts, which was there in the hearts under an English heaven. So, just like he had spent this time under the sky of England, you can say. So, that sky, heaven stands for sky, that sky above England under which he had spent his time, under which he had learned about friendship, gentleness, peace, dreamy days, happy days. He will return all these thoughts and feelings to God, who is immortal. And by doing this, his feelings and thoughts will be immortal in the mind of God. So, these last 6 lines, they were about soul, as I have already explained. So, this was your poem, which is a sonnet, The Soldier, by Rupert Brooke. And you know, sonnet is a poem of 14 lines. Okay, so this sonnet is also divided into if I talk about division, it's octave and sestet, just like I have explained it when I was teaching you Miltonic sonnet and Shakespearean sonnet. So this is like Miltonic sonnet, and the division is octave and sestet, 8 lines and 6 lines. Okay, thank you so much, girls. I will share question answers in the WhatsApp group, and if you do not understand anything, don't be hesitant to ask me. You are always welcome. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.